You gave yourself 8 hours, you went to bed at a reasonable time, but when the alarm goes off, you still feel like you barely slept. That does not automatically mean something is seriously wrong, but it does mean that time in bed and restorative sleep are not always the same thing. In this video, we'll look at the most common reasons you can wake up unrefreshed, what you can improve yourself, and the warning signs worth discussing with a clinician so you don't just write it off as getting older. By the end, you'll have a simple 7-day checklist to help you test what may be affecting your sleep. First, 8 hours in bed is not necessarily 8 hours of actual sleep. You may lie awake longer than you realize before falling asleep. You may wake up several times during the night. You may wake early and drift in and out until the alarm. On paper, that can look like 8 hours, but your sleep may be fragmented enough that you do not feel restored in the morning. That is the key idea. Sleep is not only about duration, it's about continuity and quality. Second, your schedule may be working against your body clock. A lot of people do not keep one schedule. They get up early on weekdays, sleep much later on weekends, use caffeine to push through the afternoon, and then wonder why they are not sleepy at the right time the next night. Your body does not just respond to the number of hours you give it, it also responds to regular timing. A more consistent wake-up time can be a useful place to start. Not perfect, not rigid, just more consistent than a completely different schedule every day. Third, some habits quietly reduce quality without ever stopping you from falling asleep. Late caffeine is an obvious one. Caffeine works partly by blocking adenosine, one of the signals that helps sleep pressure build. The tricky part is it can still affect you hours later. A practical test is to move your last real caffeine earlier for 1 week. That means coffee, energy drinks, strong tea, some pre-workouts, and even some chocolate. If you go to bed around 10:30, try making your last caffeine around 2:30 in the afternoon. If you are sensitive to caffeine, you may need to stop closer to noon. Alcohol can be misleading. It may make you feel sleepy at first, but sedation is not the same thing as restorative sleep. As your body processes alcohol overnight, sleep can become lighter and more fragmented later in the night. You may fall asleep faster, but you still wake up often and feel less restored the next morning. A simple test is to avoid alcohol close to bedtime for 1 week, especially in the last 3 to 4 hours before sleep, and see whether your morning energy changes. And then there is the environment. A room that is too warm, too bright, too noisy, or full of alerts and screens can leave you technically asleep, but not necessarily sleeping well. The point is not that you need a perfect bedtime routine. The point is to stop treating sleep like a single switch. You do not just get 8 hours or fail to get 8 hours. You create the conditions for your brain and body to get more continuous, refreshing sleep. Now here's the part that matters most. Sometimes waking up tired is not mainly a routine problem. If you snore loudly, waking up gasping or choking, have pauses in breathing that someone else notices, wake with headaches, or feel unusually sleepy during the day, that is worth discussing with a healthcare professional. The same is true if fatigue is lasting for weeks, affecting your work, driving, exercise, mood, or ability to function normally. Feeling tired is common, but persistent fatigue can have many causes, including sleep disorders, medication effects, mental health concerns, and medical conditions. That is why you do not want to self-diagnose from one YouTube video. So what should you actually do? For the next 7 days, keep it simple. Try to wake up at roughly the same time each day. Move your last caffeine at least 8 hours before bed for 1 week. If your bedtime is 10:30, test a cutoff around 2:30. If you are sensitive to caffeine, test closer to noon. Avoid alcohol in the last 3 to 4 hours before bed, and notice whether you wake less often or feel more refreshed. Give yourself a short screen-free wind-down period. That could mean dimming the lights, putting the phone away, reading something easy, stretching, or simply getting ready for bed without more stimulation. Keep the room cool, quiet, and dark enough to sleep comfortably. That might mean lowering the thermostat, using a fan or white noise, closing blackout curtains, or using an eye mask. And track a few things for 1 week, not forever. When you went to bed, how often you woke up, caffeine or alcohol later in the day, naps, and how refreshed you felt the next morning. You are not trying to become obsessive about sleep. You are trying to notice patterns, because the goal is not merely to spend more time in bed. The goal is to wake up with enough energy to think clearly, move well, train, work, and enjoy your day. If you are still waking up tired after what looks like enough sleep, do not assume it is just normal aging. Look at sleep quality, look at your routine, look for patterns, and when the signs point to something more serious, bring it to a clinician. This is not overreacting. It is protecting the energy and capability you need for everything else in your life.